Hi. Did the subject of today's episode trigger you? Do you think you might be addicted to negative thinking? Did you even know that's possible? In today's episode, I'm talking about it and suggesting ideas that may be helpful to you to finally break free from it. I'm also sharing with you the fine line that I walk every day to ensure that I don't get addicted to it again. Come on in. It's time to choose happy. Hey girlfriend, do you want to connect back to yourself and what you really want for your life? Are you finally done with the limiting stories and fear that stands in your way? Is the negative talk so loud that it sabotages you and lowers your self-confidence? Hi, I'm Marie. For the majority of my life, I lived in negativity that was often labeled as depression. My breakthrough happened when I learned the power of choosing happy. This podcast will give you tangible ways to finally ditch the negativity, improve your self-esteem, and take action for what you really want for your life. No more guilt, no more people-pleasing. Let's do this. We are choosing happy. Hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well and enjoying the spring season. Did the subject of today's episode trigger you? We've become a society where negativity, it's everywhere. Our homes, our workplaces, everywhere. It's become so toxic. For some of us, it can feel like an addiction. Do you feel you're addicted to negativity? Do you find you just can't get yourself out of situations that are so negative, and when you are in them, you cannot see the positivity? It's happened to me. Using the word addicted, there's a certain connotation to it. I looked it up on dictionary.com, and as an adjective, it's defined as compulsively committed or helplessly drawn to a practice or habit or to something psychologically or physically habit-forming. Negative thinking is actually a habit, and if you'll agree with me, it is not a good one. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors were exposed to environmental threats. Predators that if we were not on guard, we wouldn't survive very long. So thinking negatively was actually a good thing at the time. It was needed to ensure the positive, negative threats were addressed. But over time, this hardwired go-to approach for survival, it's not needed in the same way. Although there are survival situations that this go-to approach continues to be needed, and hopefully many of us are not in a survive or die lifestyle. So why do we continue thinking negatively? Why are we always looking for what can go wrong? Well, the media doesn't help. When's the last time you listened to the news and felt positive about it? What about social media? Lots of negativity there. So how do we break this never-ending cycle of negativity? Well, it first starts with awareness. Recognizing that you're thinking negatively allows you to pause and take an active role in pivoting your thoughts. We always have the choice. We control the thoughts that are in our mind, and I know sometimes it's not easy. We've got this idea, we worry about it, we worry about what can go wrong, and we just can't let it go. It is possible to break free from the addiction, but it does require effort. You need to become intentional with living your life. No more autopilot. You've got it from the moment you start your day in the mornings to the time you go to bed. You need to be aware. And at first it may feel like you're taking on another job just to monitor your thinking. And it will be a job because it requires effort. Awareness is required so that you can see it happening. And yeah, you may be doing a little bit of talking to yourself. I know there is nothing wrong with talking with ourselves. We are in control of our thoughts. Don't forget that. Catch yourself when you are thinking something negative. Tell yourself, no, I'm not doing this anymore. Another way is intentionally bringing positivity into your everyday life. And what can that look like? Well, it can look like the words that you use, reading books, magazines that make you happy, books that help you advance with what makes you happy. You could watch videos, anything that makes you happy and helps you grow in your life. That's positive. Reducing your news consumption, that is where, for some of us, we need to let go. I know you want to stay informed. I see you. I really do. I know. But you need to be aware that if the news doesn't empower you to break free from the negativity and you just continue having negativity, is it worth it? I'm not suggesting that you not care about what's happening in your city or in your world. I'm suggesting that you just set parameters. When can you read the news? Maybe later in the day versus first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning can start triggering your day, and there you go, you're off to this negative spiral just because of something you read in the morning. Can you find some other way to stay in the loop? Is there someone that you can ask to say, if anything significant happens or is happening, let me know? Or maybe just put some parameters, read the news once a week. Stay on the focus points. Don't go into all those recommended content to read that social media gives us. What a gift, eh? That you could read this and you can read that. And then you're down this rabbit hole 1 hour later, a rabbit hole of negativity. Another way you can intentionally bring positivity into your everyday life is spending time with people that are also choosing happy and living their lives. People that are genuinely trying to be happy. People that choose to talk about topics that are helpful instead of complaining, especially about things that you don't have any control or influence about. You need to stop spending so much time with those people that suck your energy. You know what I'm talking about. I know that can be tough. They can be your family. They could be your spouse. They could be your best friend. They can be your work colleague that you have to work with every day. But you've got to set healthy boundaries. You can't let yourself get sucked into the negativity hole. It can be a deep one. Because of my past depression, I've had to be very careful when I'm around people who are being negative. I have trained myself over the years that when this starts happening, I actually see a red flag. I have visualized a red flag and I must walk away. And it's not about the person. I may really truly love the person, but it's the topics that they're choosing to talk about. I can try to pivot the conversation, and if it just can't be pivoted, I have to walk away. I was telling my friend the other day of this observation that I've made that I truly feel has been life-changing, and maybe it might be for you too. When you've had a tendency towards negative thinking, for whatever reason that contributed to this, and it becomes your comfort zone, it just becomes what you know. It's this familiar space, and you want to break free from it. And breaking free requires effort, starting with awareness and intentionally changing the thinking towards positivity, to find the good in a situation, to walk away from situations that are bringing you down. For me, breaking free from the negativity addiction, I compare it to an alcoholic's addiction. And I know it is not the same. This is not my intent. I will never compare it to exactly different situations. But how it feels can be similar. And maybe you can relate to this. You see, the alcoholic can't have that first drink. I can't have that negativity anymore. I walk a fine line every day choosing to find the positive in living my life. Don't get me wrong, there's negative things that happen. It's called living life. But what you choose to focus on is actually what you bring into your life. So if you don't want more negativity, you have to pivot and intentionally choose to see the positive, even if it's just a little bit, just a glimmer of hope. Sometimes I've had to end conversations with friends because they just don't stop complaining. And yes, I want to be there for my friends and my family. I want to listen to what is happening in their life. But when it becomes the only thing they talk about, and I've tried to pivot the conversation, it's time for me to go. And it's not about them. It's about the chosen topics that they won't let go of, and I can't go there. As you go about living your week, become aware if you are addicted to negativity. Are you talking negatively to yourself, to others? Are you reading negative news stories and continuing to find other articles equally as negative? Do you find you just can't stop yourself? You can. Walk away. Go do something else, something that makes you happy, something that makes you smile. Listen to music that makes you happy. Get outside. Watch children playing. See them laughing. See them finding the positivity. One of the key ways I used to finally break free from the addiction of negativity was in using affirmations. Choosing to use positive words, changing my everyday vocabulary. If you're looking to change the words that you're using in your everyday living, I recommend the Choose Happy Affirmation Card Deck. There are 30 cards with empowering words such as, "My inner voice is clear and strong. It guides me as I live my day today." Or, "I welcome this new day with love and enthusiasm. My positive energy manifests a positive day." If these words resonate with you and you'd like to use these words in your everyday living, I invite you to order your Choose Happy Affirmations card deck. For the months of April and May, it is going to be 15% off, and it's in honor of Mother's Day. You can find the link in this episode's show notes. I am so proud of you for being here and putting in the effort to break free from negativity. This isn't easy work. It requires retraining your mind to stop focusing on negativity. You are worthy of happiness, of living a life aligned with the beautiful person that you are and your strengths. I am so grateful to be on this journey with you. Wishing you a wonderful week, choosing happy. Cheers! I hope today's episode empowered you to choose happy as you live your upcoming week. If it did, consider forwarding it to a friend that may benefit from it as well. If you have 30 seconds, please leave a review for the show on your favorite podcast app. It warms my heart to hear the positive impact the show is making in your life. It takes vulnerability and courage for me to show up here every week. I do this because I feel called to share what I learned with others. Your feedback is greatly appreciated. You can purchase your very own Choose Happy Affirmation Card Deck at www.choosehappywithmarie.com. Take good care and see you next week.